Guys, I have to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
You know how Christina always tells everyone that I have a giant Ziploc bag of makeup?
Yes.
She has a bin of nails.
It's not a bin, it's a basket.
It's a big fucking basket. And I'm not even mad at it. It's impressive.
At least I have a makeup bag.
That's fair. Touche. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Ghosty Girls podcast.
Hi.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Christina, who has a huge basket of nails. Not nails like hammer nails, like nails for your finger. I just thought, like, that probably sounds real. People are probably like, what do you mean she has a basket of nails?
That's fair. No, if they know you, they know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
I like to do my nails because I'm poor and sponsor us. But
literally any nail company. Not me, though, because I'll put you on and then rip you off in a day.
I like Kiss nails. They're my favorite.
I like those Sally Hansen press-on nails.
See, Sally Hansen, I like them, but I feel like they're not as strong as the Kiss nails. I feel like the Kiss nails last a little longer.
And I think that's why I like the Sally Hansens, because I literally put them on, wear them for a couple of hours.
Yeah, fair enough.
The table.
Fair enough.
And then take them off.
She likes to do a little clickety-clackety, and then she takes them off.
Then I'm over it.
Yeah. I get it. I
try.
I have to do my nails, though, because I'm a biter, okay? I'm a biter. And I also am a picker. I will pick at the skin of my nails. I will bite them. It's not good for anybody. So
fair. So today, I know a while ago we said that we should cover, well, you told me I should cover Ruby Franke and all that stuff.
Yes, because you're really into that, and I feel like you know a lot about it, which is good because, like, you know, like we've said before, I feel like I like doing the classic ones, the old school ones, but you're really good with the new ones. So it's a good balance.
And I've been following this one since like day one.
She really has.
It like blew my mind that people actually act like this.
It's weird. It's real fucking weird.
It's so weird. And I don't mean to call out another state, but Utah, guys. So you've heard of Ruby Franke's show then, 8 Passengers on YouTube?
I never watched it.
Same.
Okay, I am not that kind of girly.
I'm not into that family vlogging stuff.
I hate family vlogging.
It's so dumb.
It pisses me off. I feel like it's really exploitive. I think it's okay having like the little kid like channels like that, like Ryan Kid and stuff. But the ones that are like the Ruby Franke one, there's just like I don't know how to describe it. There's just like a certain genre that I'm like, bleh.
Well, it's a, like you said, a certain genre, and I feel like a certain religion are trying to make income based on they see other families in the same type of religion. They don't want to work, but at the same time,
either,
like,
but
they're forcing their kids to like share such private information and such private moments that they shouldn't have a camera in their face. And I think I talk about that in here a little bit more. But yeah.
I'm excited.
Sweet.
I mean, not like I'm excited for the story. To hear the story.
Yeah.
That sounded wrong.
Digress already. Sorry. But Hulu also just released a documentary on her.
Yes, and it's really good. I recommend everyone watch it.
Yeah, she was like pure, or I say is. Ugh.
Yeah.
She's basically like pure evil. The shit she would do to her kids is evil. Just in the name of discipline. I can't. God, I'm already pissed off and I haven't even gotten into
know.
This. So I don't really watch documentaries, but as you already know, I already said it. I've been following this since her shitty self was arrested. And there are now a ton of podcasts out there on Ruby and the case. However, I haven't seen a lot focusing on Jodi.
No, and she's a very interesting figure.
Yeah, she's pure evil, man.
She's so evil that she actually like said that she had a demon in her and was like acting like she was possessed at their house at one point.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm like going way far ahead and I'm sure you'll probably talk about it.
Just a little bit. I'll touch on it.
That's how evil she is that she literally thought that an actual demon was in her.
Maybe it is.
No, she's just a piece of shit.
Agreed.
But I digress.
Fair. That being said, I would like to dive into Jodi Hildebrandt.
Yeah.
And start with her and then progress into Ruby Franke, how the two of them connected, and then leading into the horrific events that landed them in jail. So that's kind of where I'm going. So Jodi Hildebrandt, let's find out how she became such a manipulative, conniving, egotistical piece of shit who, in my mind and many other people's minds, is basically a cult leader.
She absolutely is.
Yeah. I don't think enough attention has been brought to her and all the evil crap that she has done leading up to torturing someone else's children. And I know I already said that. That's like the second time I'm saying it, but I really, really hate this woman.
Well, even in the documentaries that I've watched, they don't really touch on her background.
Mm-hmm. And I think they touch on Ruby so much.
They do.
Because of 8 Passengers, but also she's pretty.
She's a pretty white woman, so of course she's gonna get... Yeah, and Jodi Hildebrandt looks like a fucking...
sweaty meat face?
She's like the equivalent of a bad meatball. Like one of those like freezer burnt meatballs that you get like not even like I'm trying like
she's an IKEA meatball.
No, IKEA meatballs are good.
Just kidding. She's not.
She's like
I don't eat meatballs, so
yeah, so you wouldn't know. She's just like a dollar store freezer burnt meatball that has like one of the balls like fell out of the bag. And then, like, it rolled on the floor and it got some, like, dog hair on it. She's that kind of meatball. She's a bad meatball.
She's a bad fucking meatball. I'm going to call her a bad burrito because she looks like a fucking shit burrito that would make you have excruciating diarrhea.
Yeah.
So, basically, I feel about her how you feel about Karla Homolka.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. So, Jodi.
We all have that one.
This fucking asshole. She was born in Tucson, Arizona on June 15th of 1969 to parents Florence and Jay Hildebrandt. This makes her a Gemini. You don't have to claim her. It's fine. We're not going to judge. Jodi's parents were extremely strict and were devout members of the LDS Church.
Of course they were.
For those of you that don't know, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I feel like a lot of cases I hear about or even have covered, have studied this faith, which is mind-blowing to me, how you can follow the book of Jesus Christ and be so fucked up. So if any of you out there are members of this church, I'm going to say this, hit us up, because I need to know what the fuck is going on. So anywho, I could not find a ton on her elementary years, but Jodi attended Canyon del Oro High School, where it seems like she was actually pretty popular.
Ew.
I know.
Sorry.
She was known as a great singer, and her senior year, Jodi was voted most valuable player and made first team All-City for her volleyball team. Jodi also worked hard to become the captain of the Canyon del Oro High women's basketball team for her senior year.
So she was very sporty.
Yeah.
Which is interesting considering now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I agree. I mean, she won the state championship that year too. And she received a basketball scholarship to Rick's College.
Rick's?
Rick's College. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Rick's College?
Rick's. RACKS.
That sounds like if you were to be like, I got accepted to Walmart College. I got accepted to Rick's College.
Did you say Walmart College? It took... Okay, we got to take a Starbucks break because that took a second to hit my brain. Now, I got accepted to the college of the Walmart.
That's so... I'm sorry. I'm being real ignorant because Rick's might be like a great institution. And there might be tons of like learned doctors that come from... and scholars that come from that institution. And I'm shitting all over it.
It is a top tier quality A-league school.
I'm sorry if I'm making fun. Listen, it's just a weird name, okay?
If we have
not trying to shit on your college.
No.
It's just a weird name, okay? Things have weird names.
If we have a listener that actually went to Rick's College, we love you. Sorry for this. Anyhow, so Jodi's time at Rick's was short-lived. Shockingly.
I'm sorry, I can't get over
Rick's College. I gotta freaking Google this. Hold on.
I cannot get over.
This is why my
Rick's
episodes
College
are so bad because
they're not. It's funny.
Digress. Hold on. Rick's.
I was digressing because I'm just like, I need to know more about Rick's College. What do you learn there? Farming?
I mean, my degree's in agricultural, so fuck you. I'm not even kidding.
I know it is. I was like, I'm just being a huge fucking bitch today.
So Ricks College becomes BYU, Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Brigham Young University.
Brigham Young, correct me if I'm wrong. That's a Mormon college?
They have t-shirts. I digress. I don't know if it's a Mormon.
Let me Google it.
Oh my God, I want one of these shirts. Somebody send me one of these shirts. It says Ricks College, Valley of the Sun Bowl champions, 1981. That's the year I was born.
Ew, that's weird.
I need that shirt. But it's yellow and I look terrible in yellow because I'm so white. White.
Okay, so here we go. Brigham Young University is a private university in Utah affiliated with and owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah, so she went to a Mormon university.
Of course she did.
So,
all right, so now that we have dove into exactly
Ricks
what
University.
Ricks College / Brigham Young University is, again, her time was short-lived there because she only attended from 1987 to 1988. After that, Jodi transferred to the Utah Valley Community College for 1 year in 1989. It wasn't until 1996 that Jodi received a Bachelor of Arts in English Language and Literature from Brigham Young University. So she went back to Ricks. Okay.
She went back to Ricks.
Look, all of this is making sense now.
Yeah, it really is.
Yep. She did decide to continue her education and received her Master of Arts in Educational Psychology from the University of Utah. Yeah. Listen to this shit. Her thesis was titled, you ready?
Oh, God.
Experiences of Latter-day Saints Women and How Their Culture Influences Their Manifestations of Sexuality.
Get the fuck out of here.
Do you want me to read that again?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
I don't even understand what that means. Nor do I want to.
It's probably better that you don't.
Yeah. I'm just going to move forward.
We're just going to gloss over that.
Yeah, it is what it is. In 2005, Jodi received her license to become a counselor and enjoyed telling people their faults so much that she decided to start her own counseling company called Connections, and that's spelled with an X.
Of course.
Connex.
Yeah, of course it's spelled that way.
Ions.
Why wouldn't it be?
God bless her. I have written here that it's spelled with an X because she's stupid.
You're not wrong.
No. Connections offered business and relationship counseling, but then Jodi branched out and specialized in psychological and psychiatric treatment for, get this, porn and sex addiction. She was a terrible therapist and had her license suspended for over a year and a half in 2012. It was suspended because between 2008 and 2010, this bitch was sharing confidential information about 2 separate patients in addition to a couple that she was counseling.
What?
Yeah. Not only did she gossip about her patients to people at Brigham Young University, but also to the leaders of the Mormon Church.
Oh, come on.
I know, what a bitch. One of the clients she spoke about was essentially shunned at church and lost church privileges.
Oh, that's fucked.
I know. He was also kicked out of Brigham Young University.
Oh, damn. What a bitch.
I know. This client later stated in an interview that Jodi did not listen to a word he said.
No way.
Told him he had an addiction to porn, and also told him if he did not take more sessions with her and force his wife to take more sessions with her, that his addiction, that Jodi made up, mind you, would ruin his life. Her website is still up. It's called jodihildebrandt.com.
Yes, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Well, I'm going to read at least one review on here just so you guys can hear. It's hysterical.
I'm so excited.
I love that this one turned almost funny already. You can actually read reviews of her practice on that website, which I will do. Actually, fuck it. I'm going to do it right now. Let me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to read the top one on the page. I would like to leave a review. Should I talk in a different voice?
Sure.
I would like to leave a review for others as a warning to avoid Jodi Hildebrandt and her teachings and philosophy at all cost. It cost me a marriage, and she used a shaming me That doesn't make sense. And others in the group I attended as control. My former wife, this is a male. My former wife and I had our issues, but it wasn't until we had individual sessions that these, quote, distortions, by the way, I'll touch on that word later, I think, she said were there, turned into distortions that cost a marriage and divided a family. I once had a billing issue regarding the time of a session. She would frequently call me from her car with spotted service, and our conversations would drop sometimes up to 10 to 15 minutes. There's not an S on that. Yet she was charged me for the full session. When I approached her about it, she blew up and started yelling and accusing me of trying to get more sessions that I paid for.
Damn.
There is not one good thing about her on her program. It should be investigated for fraud and misconduct. For multiple HIPAA violations, she would share by name other clients' information. She does more harm than good. I don't know why I extended that good, sorry. Someone referred to her as a wolf in sheep's clothing. I would refer to her as Satan in saint's clothing.
Oh, shit.
I will be spending as much effort that I can to warning people about her own distortion and shame she puts in others.
That's a pretty strong review.
That was an aggressive voice. I'm sorry for that.
I'm going to venture to say that it wasn't a 5-star review.
It was, there's not even any stars on this page.
I'm really shocked that was actually like left up there, because if that's her website, like, wouldn't you think that she would like remove the negative reviews?
I don't think she has access to it. Like, maybe somebody else made this as a review site. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to read another one. This one is from a female who requested, I'm going to have you say this word.
Anonymity, right?
Yeah. Okay. She wants to be anonymous. I have grave concerns about the organization called Connections Classroom and, quote, Moms of Truth, quote. My husband and I took the first course for couples and benefited from being reminded to not tell ourselves unhelpful or untrue, quote, stories, end quote, and to invite one another to listen when we feel we have another perspective to share. We are grateful for the correct principles we were reminded of through the course material. However, there were some serious red flags we witnessed while taking the course and through subsequent exposure to Connections. Though I recognize there is a need for helpful counseling to help heal relationships, destructive division is actually what Connections is perpetuating. The biggest problem I see is that Jodi and Ruby do not use the principles they purport to teach. Instead of the golden rule, type language and patient, understanding interactions, they often harshly and forcefully shame and batter people down in a brash and cruel manner when they ask questions or have concerns. Parenthesis. Though they are very kind to those who agree with them, end parentheses.
Of course.
In all fairness, Jodi appears to have started off her career with noble intentions, but those intentions are called into question by past and current professional peers who see her methods and manners as emotionally and mentally detrimental, even abusive. Ruby, who is known by many for her role as a YouTube influencer and a person trying to help families succeed at home, is a gifted and intelligent woman.
Sorry.
But, right? Something has changed. For example, Jodi and Ruby seem to think themselves synonymous with truth, always written with a capital T, which makes it appear there is some type of God complex going on, and it gives off warning signs of a cult-like mentality.
I was just going to say, it kind of sounds like a cult, doesn't it?
Ruby and Jodi quickly make judgments about a situation without knowing or seeking to know enough of the details, and have been known to reflect truth by saying, I feel sorry for you. It's obvious that you are lost. Your anxiety, depression, suicidal tendencies are a result of not taking responsibility for your feelings.
Okay, way to gaslight people with fucking depression.
Oh no, it gets better. Your children have no right to privacy.
Oh.
I recommend you kick your daughter out, regardless of her serious heart condition.
What?
Etc. The tone and the way these mothers treat people and give advice commonly goes against nearly every principle taught in professional psychology, counseling, teaching, and mentoring. It is painful to watch and heart-wrenching to read about, knowing that desperate or faithful followers may very well follow their counsel. I feel obligated to warn those investigating connections or, quote, moms of truth, end quote, to be aware that these women have become master manipulators who are expert at pulling vulnerable individuals in, making them doubt themselves, their spouses, children, siblings, etc., until they one day realize their own family relationships have disintegrated.
Which is what a cult does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Please look closely at the current lives and families of Jodi and Ruby and talk to their family members, immediate and extended, before jumping into any counseling or training with them. That was a big one. Damn. I mean, I could go on and on. This one says, I wouldn't trust this company. They use brainwashing tactics to manipulate you. They intentionally make you feel bad about yourself and use slander. Please stay away from this company at all cost. They are a scam. So I'll link this one, or Christina, can you link this one? I'll send you the thing. And if you guys want to go and read it, it's crazy. Oh shit, there's another one. They will ruin your family through mind control. They don't want you to think for yourself and critically think. They want to shelter you. They are an actual cult. Actual cult. They also assaulted me, so I'm suing.
Oh my God.
That's one. The guy's name is Vincent. He's a local guide.
Oh shit.
Damn. Okay, well.
Wow.
I mean, I would call that digression, but I feel like.
No, it's not, because
that was necessary.
But it's, these are the reviews on her website. So I feel like it's important to know what type of person she is, you know?
Yep.
And this is from people that actually have worked with her.
Right. That's insane.
Yeah. It's a cult.
Yeah. And her sessions basically focused on teaching people to take radical accountability, which sounds empowering until you realize that
it's gaslighting?
Yeah. Until you realize that it involved berating people for expressing basic human emotions.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I'm going to pause on shitbag Jodi and move on to one of the worst moms in America. Ruby Franke.
Ugh.
Influencer, mother, disciplinarian, YouTuber, alleged snack denier. That's right. It's Ruby Franke.
Ugh. I hate her.
Yeah. I hate Jodi more because I feel like Ruby is a shitbag of a person. But just like you were saying in the Myra one, how you don't think she would have actually been a serial killer if she hadn't met Ian.
Yeah.
I don't think Ruby would have gone this far if she had met.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, sometimes it just, and that's, I'm not saying that she's not a horrible person. Mm-mm. Okay, Ruby Franke is a horrible person. I'm not saying Myra Hindley isn't a horrible person. She's a fucking horrible person.
Right.
But do I think that they would have gone the lengths that they did without their counterpart? No. I don't. No.
Mm-mm. Nope. So Ruby Franke first came into the public eye through her family YouTube channel called 8 Passengers.
I hate that name. I'm sorry not to cut you off, but I really fucking hate that name.
I do too.
Passengers. 8 Passengers. Shut up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Get a life, bro.
I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut during this, but these people piss me off, so it's going to be hard.
Why do you think I decided to cover them?
Yeah, it's Ruby Franke especially, just because she's got a real fucking punchable face.
She does.
Anywho.
So the concept of this YouTube channel was simple. It was supposed to be a wholesome Mormon family raising 6 kids in Utah. It was all smiles, chore charts, and a strict policy on fun. The channel quickly gained over 2 million subscribers.
That's a lot.
Yeah, by vlogging the daily lives of not herself, but her kids. It seemed as if she enjoyed focusing on their personal moments, like getting braces, becoming a woman, if you know what I mean.
Come on.
Bad grades.
That pisses me off.
I know.
Because
can you imagine
these kids can't consent to that.
Right.
And that's fucking embarrassing to them. Like, it's not embarrassing getting your period, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's embarrassing to a child to have their fucking life blasted like that.
When you're like 15 and you get your period, and like people at high school now know, like.
And it's already a hard enough time.
Right. Yeah. Don't get me started. She even showed her son being sent away to wilderness camp for behavioral correction.
Oh shit, that's probably like one of those camps that like Paris Hilton and all them got sent to.
Apparently he loved it. A lot of people called it poorly written reality TV. Ruby made her parenting style look soft, but if you cross her, you are grounded harder than a Spirit plane during a sunny day, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Don't take Spirit Airlines. Don't sponsor us. Thanks. Now I'm going to enter into when Jodi and Ruby met. So in 2022, Ruby met Jodi when she became a counselor for Jodi's oldest son. Ruby adopted Jodi as her own personal mentor as well, and quickly started incorporating Jodi's connections ideology into her content.
Now, do we know how she found Jodi? Like, did she do an online search, or was she part of their church or something?
I think they had known each other before.
Like through the church, I guess? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think Jodi was recommended as a counselor by the church to people that needed them. She was like on that list that they give people.
Ugh.
Yeah. But that is when the tone shifted big time. Videos on the channel went from, watch us make waffles, to, here's why withholding food is actually loving.
What?
Mm-hmm. You don't know this part?
No.
Stop it. Okay. Ruby and Jodi began filming parenting advice so harsh, it actually made Super Nanny look like a goddamn Care Bear.
So, like, I did see some of the clips where, like, she made her son, like, sleep on a beanbag chair for a really long time. Like, she took his bedroom away.
Yeah, I get into
but
that.
I didn't know that they were withholding food, like, before. I knew they were doing that towards the end, but I didn't know, like, on their YouTube channel that they were filming, like, because any person who isn't fucking dumb knows that you don't withhold food. Food is a basic fucking necessity.
Yeah. I know. Listen, you're going to love this part then. One example is when her youngest daughter, I believe she was about 6 at the time, was given the responsibility to pack her own lunch for school.
Aww.
I can't.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I know. One day, Ruby got a call from the teacher who informed her that her daughter did not have a lunch.
Aww.
Ruby vlogged about it and told the teacher to not feed the girl or let anyone else give her food.
I would still feed her as a teacher.
I know, same. Although it would make the teacher more comfortable to provide her daughter a lunch, it will not allow her daughter to learn a lesson on responsibility.
Okay, I'm a grown-ass fucking woman, and I forget my lunch sometimes when I go to work. So seriously, fuck off, Ruby Frank. Like, I hate that.
I forgot I forgot my son's lunch not too long ago.
It's easy to do.
I know, and luckily I got it to the school before snack time,
yeah.
So it was fine.
I could never look at my child and be so angry with them that I didn't feed them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take away like an iPad, or I'll take away TV time, or I've never done this before, but I could see somebody like, you don't get dessert tonight.
Yeah.
But I can't see like not giving them lunch or dinner or like.
I know.
Some people just should not be parents.
I agree. So this is Ruby Franke in that situation. This is what she recorded on a video and put it out to her 2 million plus followers. Ready?
Outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry. And hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch, because then she's not going to learn from the natural outcome. My hope is that she'll be hungry and come home and go, oh man, that was really painful. Outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry.
You get it.
She is a dumb fucking cunt.
I know.
I said what I said.
I stand by it.
To tell you this, honey, but unless you find a friend who's willing to share some of their food with you, I don't think you're going to be able to eat. But if you're not responsible for your lunch and your lunch money, that's the natural consequence. And I'm really sorry you're learning this the hard way.
Wow.
You get it.
No words.
I know.
Except I don't have any words. I don't have any words.
Yeah. There was another time when it came out that Ruby sent her son to wilderness camp, which we touched on, because he was acting out. He was also made to sleep on a beanbag chair for several months after playing a prank on his little brother, as his privilege to a room was taken away. Ruby also vlogged about giving all of her children, but the 2 youngest, physical gifts on Christmas.
I saw that, and that...
The kids are going to be given, the 2 youngest were going to be given the gift of truth. She did this by showing them a PowerPoint of sorts and told the children her expectations of them, which she
on
claimed,
Christmas Day.
No, this is prior to Christmas. She's warning them that they are not going to get any physical gifts.
Oh.
And she claimed the children should have already known her expectations. She then literally told these two young kids, I think they were 6 and 10, I don't know their exact ages, that her and their father were deeply sorrowful because of the choices that they have been making. And then she called them selfish. She tried to make them feel better by telling them their true gift is the love that they get from their parents.
And then she gives the older kids presents.
Mm-hmm. And all of this was done under the public eye.
God.
Over 2 million followers.
You know what Ruby Franke is? She is a moldy loaf of Wonder Bread.
I'm not even giving her that. Fuck her. She is a dog turd.
And, you know, I don't know if you're going to touch on this, but the husband pisses me off too.
I don't go into him a lot because I can't.
I mean, he's worthless anyway. He's literally fucking worthless because I saw the Hulu documentary where he like says that he still has feelings for her, and anybody that can stand by and watch your children be treated like this and also be on board with it, like, you can get fucked too.
Yeah. So just to touch on that real quick, because I didn't cover it in here. Initially, after all of that, he did say that. He was like, oh yeah, I still have feelings for her. She's my wife. I love her. Of course I would take her back. Right? But then as more and more came out and he saw the video footage and stuff, I mean, he also tried to have his daughter arrested for taking her own laptop from his home. There was a bunch of shit that he did that was incredibly stupid.
I hate all of them.
I know. However, now, and you never know what to believe, but now he has reconnected with his oldest son and they are working together, and he is supporting his oldest daughter who broke away from the family a while ago and started to petition for a law, which I get into later down here, to have family vlogging illegal, essentially, or to have some sort of a law for children that are part of family vlogging to be able to financially benefit.
Yes. There needs to be, they need to at least have some kind of fund set up for them, like like you would have during a lawsuit.
Yeah.
You know, if you receive money on your child's behalf, it goes into a trust.
Yeah.
So that's what should happen, because like I mean, you're essentially like, you're making them work for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know.
And it doesn't seem like it's something that they enjoy.
No.
Like you said earlier, the YouTube channels where the kids like want to do it and they're genuinely enjoying it. They're like, oh, film me.
Yeah, that's different.
It's different than family vlogging and saying, oh, let me show you being sick.
Yeah, let me show you get your fucking period.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Jodi and Ruby's relationship grew stronger, of course, and Ruby was now a partner in the Connections universe. Jodi even moved into Ruby's home where she would be, quote, possessed by demons to ensure that she was doted on by Ruby.
Yeah, Google the videos of that because it's fucking funny.
It is. It's hysterical. She's a terrible actress. Some even question if they were in a sexual relationship.
110%.
Yeah, I agree. Eventually, Jodi convinced Ruby that her husband had to move out for their relationship to work. And of course,
there it is.
Ruby believed her and kicked his ass out. He was told he was to have no contact with her or the kids during the time they were apart.
Didn't she try to manipulate him into like having a porn addiction as well?
Yeah. She told him that
was like her MO. Mm-hmm.
And he had to clear himself of all of this before he could be let back into any of their lives.
Right.
So, I mean, and he loved his wife. You know what I mean?
He was ride or die for her. Yeah.
And you know what's fucked up? Jodi had a list when she was trying to find a husband. She had a list of like different qualities, and he's the only person that met all of them. So she married him.
I hate that I have something in common with her. Because I literally, when I got divorced, I have like a manifestation book of, I guess, quote unquote manifestation book. And I would write
vision book.
Yeah. I would write what I wanted out of life because it would like give me, it would inspire me and stuff. And I wrote down everything that I wanted in a partner. And my current partner, that he's everything on that list.
Yeah.
So I swear to God, that shit works.
I believe it.
So if you guys are listening and you're unhappy with your life, start journaling and manifesting things.
Yeah.
It works.
I told you before in college, I wrote like a few things down, and one of them was go to Australia. And I literally that year went to Australia.
Yeah.
Like nuts.
It's journaling and all that. It's a great thing to do. Like I feel like it maps out your life plan, and like you're more inclined to like check all those things off your list. You know what I mean?
Because it's in writing.
Yeah.
It's in the universe now.
Exactly.
Not
You
just
put it
in your
out
head.
in the universe. Yep.
Boom. I want to reiterate too, like I know we just digressed there, but that's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. We were talking about how they possibly had a sexual relationship, and then Jodi convinced Ruby's husband to leave and blah, blah, blah. I want to circle back to her thesis. Or what her thesis was. Do you remember about
The sexuality? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious if she is a lesbian and just has always been and is just trying to make it appropriate for herself and her fucked up, crazy ass mind.
I think so, because, you know, in a lot of religions, I mean, most of religions, it's frowned upon to be homosexual. So, you know, she probably was repressing that. What's interesting to me, though, is where Ruby Frank comes into this. Like, is she bisexual? Or because, I know that you said it's like people thought that they were in a relationship. But there's footage of her daughter saying, like, she would walk in on them and
there would be candles and massage oil and stuff. They would, quote, meditate for hours and come out.
Meditate. And they'd be all sweaty and stuff.
All sweaty. Yes. And they would be super happy, like they were on cloud nine.
Yeah, they were straight up banging.
So after her husband left, Ruby started to withdraw from her own family as well. She shut down the 8 Passengers channel. And then she moved in with Jodi to
the compound. Yeah.
They continued to push connections and grow their followers with that. And again, it became almost cult-like in many people's eyes. They preached for the, quote, truth and told people how they were in distortion. Not surprisingly, clients would have to join a class to become a member or a servant.
And pay.
Right. People would have to pay money for sessions with Jodi to learn how to get out of distortion. It was a whole ass mess, honestly, and still is to this day. I mean, just reading about it.
Yeah.
So now they're living together, right? Her youngest children also live with them. By her, I mean Ruby's youngest children live with them. And
the dad is nowhere in the picture at this point. I just want to highlight that. He wasn't seeing them or anything.
In his mind, he's doing the right thing. He's staying away as he's supposed to. But at the same time, if that were me, I'd be like, fuck you. I'm not letting my kids.
I'm not letting him off the hook.
Oh, no, I don't think you should. Yeah. I'm just trying to be the...
You're not going to take me away from my kids.
No. Yeah, I
no
feel
way.
The same way. So on August 30th, 2023, the duo's life began to implode when Ruby's 12-year-old son climbed out of an unlocked window in Jodi's home. This poor freaking kid. I can't. Like... This is where I'm going to start to get emotional.
The footage is awful.
I know. He walked, I think it was like a mile or so, to one neighbor's house and they weren't home. So then he walked to another neighbor's house. And again, they lived in a very rural area in Utah. I said your word.
I hate that word.
Rural. When he finally arrived at the neighbor's home, this brave little dude knocked on the door and the guy didn't answer at first. But I guess when he saw it was a kid... I mean, Ruby's son started walking away from what I read.
Yeah.
And he popped his head out and said, what do you need? Politely as ever, he simply asked for help. He asked for 2 favors, I think is what he said. And I'll play the clip for you. This boy had deep, visible injuries from being tied up. Basically rope burns on his wrists and ankles and duct tape pieces and remnants of duct tape still on him. He was extremely skinny, malnourished. He told the homeowner he was hungry and thirsty. Thank God for this homeowner. He immediately called the police and an ambulance. This is when he found out there was another child inside of this abusive home. The phone call of this man to the police, I know we've already mentioned it, but gosh, it is freaking rough. You can hear the emotion in his voice. I'm just going to let you listen to it because he sounds like a stern ass man. And then all of a sudden, like you can just feel his heart soften.
Yep.
All right, let me find this clip for you.
Hi, I was just wondering if you could do 2 favors.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest police station. Well, actually, just one's fine.
So
What's going on, son? Have a seat there.
Is this personal business?
Have a seat.
Okay, so if you guys couldn't hear that portion, the man, after the child had started walking away and was already off of their long porch, the man answered and said, "What do you need, son?" And he turned around and he asked if he could do him a favor. And the man said, or 2 favors. And the man said, "Well, what do you need?" And the boy says, I was wondering if you could take me to the nearest police station. And the gentleman said, "Well, what's going on?" And then Ruby's son says, "That's personal business." So he didn't even want to like give up what was happening to him. So now he's getting ready to sit down and the man's coming out of his door. I'm going to continue to play it.
What's your name? How'd you get here?
I
2221512.
exactly what happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house and he's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs. He's hungry and he's thirsty.
Aww.
Need someone immediately.
But he has duct tape around
Big
his
injuries. There's sores around them.
Yeah, there's sores around him. I think there's a good chance he's been...
He also has
and he has around his ankle.
as well.
I mean, his wrist as well. Okay, this boy has been...
Needs immediate attention. Oh, he was such a good kid. Gosh, he was
Aww.
That's
That
his
makes me want to
wife.
cry.
I said he's hungry and he hadn't been... He's had very stocking feet. So he escaped.
We need the police here now.
That's really sad. I always like put myself in people's shoes and I think like I always wonder what I would do if a kid came to my door like that. Actually, I do know what I would do.
Yes, because you had that girl come here.
Yes. I
Tell
did.
them that story. That's crazy.
So I woke up probably, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 in the morning and I heard someone sobbing outside and I get up and I look outside and I see a woman walking down the street crying and she comes up to my house and she knocks on the door and I cracked it because, I'm still cautious, and this girl was fucking terrified. She was crying. She said that she had taken an Uber home. I guess she had been out drinking and the Uber driver, I don't know the specifics, but the Uber driver apparently he dumped her off on the main road by my house. So she walked all the way into my neighborhood. She had knocked on some other people's doors. They did not come to the door. No one helped her. So I looked around to make sure that no one was like, it's a setup. Yeah, exactly. I did exactly that. And I told her, I said, I'm going to let you in the house because I'm going to call the police. But I'm telling you right now, if you pull something, it's not going to be good for you. Okay. Yeah. And she was like, I promise, this is legit and blah, blah, blah. So I called the police and the police came and got her. I don't know what happened after that. I did find her because we had a talk and she told me what she did for a living. So me being a paralegal, I have some good research skills. So I ended up finding her and I reached out to her and she thanked me for helping her and said that she was good. It was just like a traumatic night. I don't know if the Uber driver did anything to her. I didn't ask because it's not my business. Yeah. But I did my duty as a citizen. I called the police. I got her help and that was that. So
right.
Anyway. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything. I'm just saying, like, I do know what I would do in that situation.
Well, yeah. Because you're a good person, you would help.
I try to be.
I mean, after you make sure it's not like a scam.
Oh, yeah. Like, because believe me, I'm going to protect myself first. Mm-hmm. But I will help people, for sure. Yeah.
Once the police and ambulance arrived, the boy wanted to make sure his little sister was rescued.
Oh.
I know. He told them she was hidden in a closet.
Oh, my God.
I know. They immediately went to Jodi's home, and this bitch answered, and in true asshole fashion, she refused to leave or get out of their way. When the police asked her to step out, Jodi was already on the phone with her attorney and made sure to let the officers know. I've played enough YouTube clips for you guys to hear, so you guys can Google this one on your own, but she is a straight up, like,
bitch.
Oh my God, just her voice. The officers knew, because of the brother, that there was another child inside to save. So without hesitation, they removed Jodi from her home.
Good.
Yep. A few officers then entered the home while another stayed outside with Jodi. And of course, she kept blabbing on and asking, "How can you enter my home without a warrant?" And she seemed more concerned with the Airbnb guests that she had staying on her property being upset than the starving 10-year-old girl the police had just found tucked inside of a dark bathroom closet.
Wow.
There is, shocker, another video of the police talking to the 10-year-old girl, who they first thought was a boy because Jodi had cut off all of her hair as a punishment.
Why do people...
I don't know.
Sorry.
The little girl sat perfectly still while the officers told her that she was finally safe.
Aww.
Like, can you imagine being treated so bad and being constantly manipulated to the point of having actual rescuers in front of you, but not knowing how to respond?
Nope.
Like, not, like, oh my God, is this a test? Am I going to get punished?
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking horrific.
I know. Eventually, the officers did convince her that they would get her something to eat and, make sure that she was fed, and she requested pizza.
Oh my God.
I know. So the officers, they're just so patient and kind. They put a slice of pizza in front of her. Another officer went and got a small pizza and a drink. I don't know what the drink was, not that it matters. But they put that in front of her, and she didn't even reach for it.
Because she's probably used to, like, being told, like, you can't have that. You can't eat that. Like, she probably has to wait for permission to fucking eat.
Right. And that's what they did. They said, it's okay to eat.
Oh.
And she still waited, like, 10 to 15 seconds before she even reached for the food. Once she did, she ate that whole slice of pizza.
Aww.
And she was still hungry. So the officers brought her the rest of the pizza. And I heard on one of the shows that I listened to, I don't want to quote it because this is just memory, that she ate almost all of, if not that whole pizza.
I'm sure she did.
I know.
I mean, my daughter, she ain't starving, okay? And she will eat a whole pizza by herself.
I mean, same.
So I think of my daughter too, like if she was offered pizza like that, she wouldn't be like shy to be like, oh.
She'd be like, yeah, thanks.
She'd be like, hell yeah. She'd take the box and walk away.
Yo, is that pepperoni on this bitch?
Yeah, really. So that just goes to show you how badly these children were abused.
Yeah. Oh. It took the girl about 4 hours to finally feel comfortable enough to go with the officers. And again, I'm going to give kudos to the officers as well as that man that called the police, as well as his wife or partner or whoever that woman was with him, just telling him that he was a good boy, and like, and embracing him and getting him food. Like, these people are like the unsung heroes, I feel like.
Yeah, they handled it very well.
How they got her to finally agree to go with them is when they brought up her brother. The officer said that they helped her brother and they really want to help her too. Once the brother and sister were both at the hospital, it was determined that they were both extremely underweight, dehydrated, and had sustained being restrained as well as starved for long periods of time.
Ugh.
Although the police were already in the house, they were only allowed access due to exigent circumstances. That is because there was a report of an emaciated and injured child from this home, and they needed to ensure there were no others at risk.
Right.
So I guess that's what that means.
Yep.
Luckily, the police were able to get an emergency warrant to actually search Jodi's home. Once they started searching, what they find makes me want to punch this bitch right in the throat and then throw her down a never-ending waterfall.
I mean, I already did want to, but, you know.
I mean, I want to do... First, there was very little furniture or necessities. That was the least of their worries, though, when they came across a locked panic-style room. When asked for the code, Jodi pretended to forget it, and she also told the officers that it was locked like 6 years ago.
Wow.
She must have eventually given them the code, though, because they got into the room, and it was laid out as if it was a mini prison.
Ew, that's so creepy that's in somebody's house.
And it was like a panic room.
I hate that.
I know. There was a toilet, a sink, an empty fridge, and a pull-down bed. The linens from the bed were bundled up on the countertop, which probably made them assume that it had been recently used. And almost all of the cabinets and drawers were empty, except one. In the one drawer, an officer found rope and handcuffs.
Ugh.
I know. Then they dove into other areas of the home, and officers found duct tape, bandages, with a cayenne honey mixture that Jodi would use to put on wounds.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. As well as plastic wrap. The police also secured several laptops as well as cell phones in hopes to aid in any digital evidence that they could find. And then guess who shows up at the home? Fucking Ruby Franke.
This bitch.
Luckily, she did show up because her and Jodi were both arrested on multiple counts of aggravated child abuse. You need a break? No? Great. When taken into the station, Jodi acted innocent.
Of course she did.
She didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Ruby, on the other hand, and there's video of this shit too, both of them, she was stone-faced and did not say a single word during her arrest or interrogation. Like, her face couldn't piss me off more than in that interrogation room.
Yeah.
She literally just sits there and blankly stares. Like, there's like nothing behind her face.
Yeah.
It's weird on. So let's move on to the trial, just for the sake of time. I'm sorry, I've already spent a lot, but I'm trying to give you guys everything. Ruby and Jodi were charged with 6 accounts of aggravated child abuse. Prosecutors alleged that the abuse was deliberate, repeated, and psychologically rooted in Hildebrandt's, quote, therapy model, which again offered religious, rhetoric, and emotional control. Can we say cult?
It's definitely a cult.
Ruby, once the clean-cut mom of the 8-passenger YouTube channel, looked like a beat down shell of her former self.
Love that for her.
Jodi showed no remorse, of course. Ruby's lawyers attempted to portray her as having been manipulated and stated she was under Jodi's spell. Her team argued that she was deeply deceived and was convinced that the abuse was therapeutic and the right thing to do to help her children.
Yikes.
Which I kind of believe, but at the same time, choices, you still did it.
Yep, choices.
Prosecutors had the receipts. They clapped back. They had emails and text messages between the two, which confirmed that they were both on the same page with the abuse as punishment.
So shocking.
I know. And they also showed videos of the children being denied food and also had evidence that Ruby left her children in Jodi's home knowing how they would continue to be treated.
That's so fucked.
Yep. Jodi was offered a plea deal and initially declined. But as the evidence grew, and I'm talking the physical evidence like the actual ropes, tape, handwritten obedience contracts, and even surveillance tapes, she had no choice but to accept the plea. In December 2023, both Ruby and Jodi pled guilty to a lesser charge of 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. In court, Ruby lost her shit. She apologized to her children, claiming, "I thought I was helping them." But the judge didn't buy the performance, thank God. She also thanked everyone, which was ludicrous.
Thanked? For what?
She thanked the judge, and she thanked her attorney, and she thanked the police that arrested her for showing her probably the truth. Like how to, and I say the truth in quotes.
That's funny, yeah, because she finally saw the truth.
Right.
Allegedly.
For getting her away from Jodi to break free of her spell or whatever.
Yeah, no, because she was using questionable parenting methods before Jodi, so...
Yeah. Fuck her. Jodi, on the other hand, was just Jodi. It is what it is. In February of 2024, I said that weird. 2024. In February 2024.
There you go.
They were each sentenced to 4 to 30 years in prison to be served consecutively. Hopefully, they will both serve the full 30. So cross your fingers that the parole board denies early release.
I feel like 4 to 30 is a real wide span.
Agreed.
They're lucky I wasn't the judge, is all I'm saying.
They're lucky I wasn't the judge too, girl. Listen.
Because crocodile tears, they don't work on me. Mm-mm. Especially when I see like privileged white women behaving like that. I will throw the book right at your fucking face.
Bye.
I hate that. Hate. And just looking at these two smug fucking bitches.
You would probably get along with the judge then. His name was Judge John Walton. And he called their actions calculated, cruel, and cloaked in authority.
Absolutely.
And neither of the women would make eye contact with
their
victims or the judge.
Of course.
They just hung their heads because they were fucked up and they knew it.
Yeah, they done fucked up. I mean, they're not sad about what they did. They're sad they got caught.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
They're sad that they're going to jail.
Yep.
That's it.
So, and that's where their asses are sitting right now, jail.
I hope it's 30 years because
I hope it's 30 years plus they don't make it out of prison. Lord forgive me, but that's how I feel.
I hope that they are withheld basic necessities as well.
Yeah. I hope that they go into the lunchroom and another woman goes, "Oh, you're not having lunch today.
You were bad today. Looks like you're not having your cornbread, you fucking bitch.
You're in distortion. Give me that fruit salad." So to wrap everything up, the 2 children rescued are currently in CPS and go to therapy daily to work through everything that they've been through. God bless their little hearts. I genuinely hope that they are doing okay and they are able to work through all of that trauma.
I hope so too.
Both women, Jodi and Ruby, are serving their sentences at the Utah State Prison. The one thing I thought was awesome is that they are held in different facilities.
Well, that's good.
Yep. So Ruby is reportedly in mental health treatment and is working on herself, if you choose to believe that.
Yeah, okay.
She is also under protective custody because the inmates there don't take kindly to child abusers.
Weird.
What? And Jodi is said to be cold, quiet, and alone. Good.
Love that for her. But she's also possessed by demons, so at least she has demons living in her she can be friends with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
She's got a best state. Meanwhile, Ruby's estranged husband, we didn't cover him a whole lot, just on our little diatribe.
It's fine. He doesn't fucking matter anyway.
His name's Kevin.
Fuck him.
He is another whole ass mess, as we've already discussed. He has regained custody of the remaining children. He has publicly condemned Ruby and is working to repair the trauma that they endured, meaning the kids.
He also had a choice. I'm just saying.
Yep. He is also, as I spoke to earlier, working with his oldest daughter on her platform to ban family vlogging or at least create a fair wage law to protect the children.
That he used to partake in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They want to make sure that if there is a fair wage law, the children are protected to ensure that they financially benefit as well when they are of age. The 8 Passengers channel has been permanently deleted and the Connections platform gone. Its website was pulled offline within a week of the arrest, and Hildebrandt's license to practice therapy was permanently revoked. Thank God.
Good.
That doesn't mean she still isn't trying, though. As I mentioned earlier, you can go to jodihildebrandt.com. I don't know if she is running that or if someone else is running that as like a review site. But there is still a link that I found for connections on the gram.
Yikes.
So I don't know if you can find that or not.
Well,
Instagram, Insta, whatever the kids are calling it.
I mean, yeah, she might have had her license permanently revoked. That doesn't mean that she can't come out of prison and start up her cult again. Charles Manson went to prison and came out and did his fucking cult. So these people are still dangerous. If you can manipulate people like that and abuse children, you're fucking dangerous. 100%. I'm sorry. If you can abuse a child, I feel like you always have it in you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts.
Yeah.
If you guys have a differing opinion, but
they don't. They're listening to us. It's all the same.
I don't know. Like, are there any cases where someone was a child abuser and then they come out of prison and then they're an upstanding individual that doesn't abuse children anymore?
I don't know.
I don't know. If there is one, fucking find it for me and let me know, because stuff that involves kids, man, I just don't have any tolerance for it. I don't have any fucking tolerance.
Nope. Kids are animals.
Yeah, it takes a certain kind of evil to prey on someone that cannot defend themselves.
Yep.
It's just a certain kind of evil.
I agree. 1,000%. It's, yeah.
Yeah, fuck both of them. I hope they spend all 30 years.
I agree. Some people do think that she's still running connections from prison.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me. Nothing would fucking surprise me.
I know. All I want to say is the next time you log into YouTube, be careful what you're watching. Not everything you see is as it appears. Not every counselor is licensed, and not every child's smile or laugh is real. I'm done. Fuck these bitches.
Yeah, I would venture to say that most of the shit that you see on social media is not accurate. No. It's just not,
well, it's funny. People see that you went to a birthday party and think that your life is great because you were at a birthday party when inside you're dying because you're going through so much shit.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, it's not what it appears. Slow game.
It's not. Damn, you really went there. I love it.
Man, we like really took a turn on that one. I gotta go. I gotta go to a tea.
Alicia's got to get the fuck out of here.
I gotta go.
And so, yeah.
You're like, and I need her to get the fuck out of here.
Did you hear my dog? She just was like,
I know. I gotta go. Khaleesi, I'm so sorry. I love you.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks. See you next Tuesday.
But don't be one.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.